Marko here from Fair Realty, Victoria, BC. In the last few months, I've helped a number of buyers that own EVs purchase homes and condo buildings, and I've been really disappointed in how uninformed the listing agents have been pertaining to EV charging. I almost had one deal blow up. I had a client, she has a Hyundai EV, and the parking stall assigned to the unit she was buying had power to it, much like the stall you see here. And when we asked the listing agent what the process was in terms of getting a charger installed, his reply was, because he didn't know what the process was, if it's a concern for your client, there's public charging. The seller is paying us tens of thousands of dollars sometimes to sell their property. You're not doing the seller a service if you don't know how EV charging works in the building you're selling this particular unit in. Personally, I always walk the parkade with the seller when I'm taking on the listing, and I take notes. So for example, here in this parkade, we have a number of things going on. Here we have power. There we already have a charger installed, but on this side of the parkade, there is no power. So already there's a lot of questions here. Some stalls have power to them, some stalls have no power to them, some stalls already have chargers installed. How are those being built? There's a lot of questions to go and research this. So as the listing agent, you're able to provide answers. A lot of other things in this parkade. For example, there's parking stalls here, and there's a regular plug. So you might think, well, why is a regular plug important? Well, you can trickle charge on that plug, and most cars trickle charge 6 to 8 kilometers an hour. So let's say you come home at 8 p.m. and you go to work at 8 a.m. That's 12 hours times 8. That's 96 kilometers overnight. 90% of people in Victoria, that is totally adequate. However, some stratas ban the use of those for charging. Some stratas allow charging in those for a monthly fee. I've seen all sorts of bylaws. I've seen bylaws where you can trickle charge if there is a plug next to your spot for $30 a month if your battery is under 50 kilowatts, and for $50 a month if your battery is more than 50 kilowatts, which makes no sense. But as the listing agent, you have to research all of this and be prepared to answer questions, because more and more buyers have EVs, and you're really doing your seller a disservice if you don't know what's going on in terms of EV infrastructure. If there isn't EV infrastructure in the building, is it coming? If there are chargers already in the building, how are they billed to those owners? As I said, the outlets, etc., etc. So every single listing I take on, I always have a walk through the parkade with the seller so he or she can show me their parking spot. I take a careful look at what's going on in terms of EV infrastructure, and then I follow up with any questions I may have with the property manager by reviewing the bylaws, rules and regulations, etc. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.